What's happening, guys? In this tutorial we're going to be doing wieldable items, or at least like pickups from the ground. Now this is going to be kind of improv because I haven't really pre-planned this necessarily, but yeah. So anyways, by the end of this tutorial you will be able to have inside of your assets, blueprints, you're going to have this wieldables folder with wieldables that we can drag and drop into the scene. So I got a wooden pickaxe, I'll drop a couple of those in. And we'll put a little diamond pickaxe in there as well. Alright, so, as you can see, I've made them spin around. Now, I'm aware that in Minecraft the pickups don't spin around, but I just liked that too much. I was like, yep, I have to make them spin. I just really like that idea. So anyways, yeah, you can go ahead and pick those up. As you can see, you wield it, so this is a wooden pickaxe. Now, right now, obviously we are going to code this in eventually. Right now, the pickaxe you have doesn't affect the speed at which you can break blocks. But obviously we'll make that happen later, so I'll pick up a diamond pickaxe. Now, right now it just wields the item if you pick it up. But later on we'll set it up so that it goes into your inventory, which won't be built for another, I want to say, 2 tutorials. It's kind of a difficult topic. It's one of those things that isn't very easy to implement. You'll also have a bug. If you start mining something and then you look away from it like that, hang on a sec. See how when I mine my one it goes back to normal? Yours probably won't do that. To fix that problem, I went into Visual Studio and I went into my Minecraft character. Okay. So your check for blocks function should now have some other stuff in it. Inside of the else statement, you should have this. And above this, if it is equal to null, have this line here as well. What this little thing here is saying is, have we stopped looking at the block? If we have, then reset whatever block that is, reset the graphics for it. And so that'll just make the block go back to its original state. So if you had that bug, add that code, you should be good. You should no longer have weird blocks that don't break or stay cracked, sorry, when you look away from them. So in this one we're going to be making the wieldable class. As you can see, I've got it here, and we'll get started on that. So I'll stop recording and I'll come back and we'll make that. Alright, let's begin. So the first thing you're gonna want to do when we come to implementing these little pickup wieldable items is you want to go ahead and go into your classes. So to do that, we'll go into here, go into your Minecraft folder or UEMC or whatever you've called it, and go ahead and add a new actor class. So go new C++ class, select actor, and then choose the name. I've called mine wieldable. Again, feel free to call this whatever you like, but I've gone with wieldable. So anyways, inside of your wieldable, we'll start writing code to make stuff happen. The first thing you want to do is have this tick function. That is important, so write that out. Virtual void tick float delta time override. And then we can just create a definition for that as well. Good stuff. And the reason we use that tick function is to make it spin around in circles over and over again, because, you know, it looks pretty or whatever. Alright, so inside of the header file, there are a couple of things we need to do. I don't know why there is a weird error there, but we'll just keep writing code anyway. Just ignore the errors and just pray to God that they go away or something. Alright, so, let's see. The first thing we need to do is define the trigger for when have we actually walked into the radius of being able to pick up the item, right? So let's define a U-shaped component called pickup trigger. So basically, because we're using a U-shaped component, in future we can make this whatever shape we want. We can make it a circle pickup radius, a square pickup radius. I'm going to make it a square because I think it's cool, but you can do whatever you like. The next thing is a wieldable mesh, and this is obviously the mesh for the pickup itself. So to get this going, I'm going to make a U property, edit anywhere, U skeletal mesh component, and we're going to call this wieldable mesh. Also, this U-shaped component needs to be a U property edit anywhere. Right. The next thing that I'm going to do is define this big long function, and to save time, I'm going to copy and paste this in. You guys can write this all out, but yeah, there's a little bit of typing there. Just write out all those variables and stuff. This is basically on radius enter. So when we enter the pickup trigger, pick up the item inside of this function. So code to pick up the item will go inside of here. The next thing we're going to do is define a couple of enumerations. These are kind of boring to make, but they are very essential, and the reason we make these is to describe what item we actually have. What is the item? So we're going to say eMaterial, it's going to be uint8, and the tools are going to be unarmed, pickaxe, axe, shovel, and sword. Now, there are obviously a lot more types than just those, but I'm only adding those for now because it's kind of pointless to add too many right now anyway. The next thing is to define all the different materials that a item can be made from. So for example, none. If you think of an item like a fishing rod, obviously that's not made of a certain material, right? Or not wielding anything at all. There's no material applicable, right? So we just go with none. The next is wooden, which is going to be equal to 2. We then have stone, which is going to be equal to 4. Iron, which is going to be equal to 6. Diamond is going to be equal to 8. And then finally golden is going to be equal to 12. Now, the reason you might be thinking, hang on a second, this is a enum, so don't they just go up? Shouldn't this be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6? Well, the reason I've done 1, 2, 4, 6, 8, 12 is because I want to use these numbers to multiply how fast we can mine the material by. So, if you've ever played Minecraft, with a wooden item you can destroy blocks twice as fast, stone is 4 times as fast, iron is 6 times, diamond is 8 times, and golden is 12 times faster mining. So, we're using these numbers to figure out how fast we can actually break down the block, right? So we've made those enumerations. Now we need to make some variables to store the different tools and stuff in. So this one's going to be eTool tool type. So what type is the tool? And also eMaterial material type. I.e., what is our tool actually made out of? Is it made out of diamond, stone, golden, whatever? We need to figure out what it's actually made out of, right? Pretty simple stuff. Hopefully you can wrap your head around that anyway. So the next thing to do is to implement our onTriggerEnter function. Right, so we have that in there. And we also have the tick function in there. What we are missing right now is the constructor to initialize all of that values. So I'm going to say a wieldable, and inside of here we're going to define all of the properties. Basically, we're initialize everything, right? So primary actor tick dot b can ever tick should be set to true. So this means fire the tick function. If that was set to false, we would not be firing the tick function, right? Now the first thing I'm going to do is define the wieldable mesh. So we're going to say wieldable mesh equals create default subobject, and then we're going to define this as a uSkeletal mesh component. And this means that when we pick it up, we can actually peer it to the player, right? Because it's a skeletal mesh, and the pickaxe in the player's hands is a skeletal mesh, we can actually give the player the pickaxe straight away. So that's why it's a skeletal mesh and not a static mesh, just in case anyone was wondering. The next thing is the pickup trigger. Now, because we define this, fun little factoid here, because we define this as a U-shape component, we can then inherit from shape component in here. So we're saying we want it to be a U-box component, but at any time I could say, actually no, I want it to be a U-sphere component now. right? So we can always change that. We can use any class that inherits from U-shaped component. I'm using U-box component because that's the one that I want to use. I want it to be a box. Because, you know, that's nice and simple. Right. So we've made our pickup trigger. We now need to define some of the stuff of pickup trigger. So we want it to generate overlap events. We want it to have the onComponent begin overlap linked up, so onComponent begin overlap. And then we say .add dynamic, which still hasn't been added to the IntelliSense. I don't know why that's a thing, but whatever. And then we pass in this, and we pass in the function name, which is a wieldable on radius enter, right? Okay, and then the last thing to do is to attach the trigger to the mesh, like so. Now, we defined these material types and tool types in here, so what we're going to do is initialize those as well. So we're going to say material type equals eMaterial none. So by default, it's not equal to anything. We're going to set that up when we make our items, but for now, that's what they are. Huh. That is weird. Doesn't want to do that. Operand types. We might just be able to say none, I think. No? That is weird. I'm not sure what I'm doing wrong there. What I'm going to do for now is make these UN8s, because I think that'll let me do that declaration there. So we'll make these UN8s. That's kind of annoying, eh? Oh well, we'll do that anyway. It'll let me now because I use uint8, I believe, so yeah, I'll look into why it does that. But anyways, that should be fine for now. What we're going to do also is say tool type equals eTool unarmed. So by default, you don't have a tool, but obviously we'll change that when we make the item. So for example, if we were going to make a diamond pickaxe, we would set this to be diamond, and we would set this to be pickaxe, and I'll show you guys how to do that later on. So the next thing to do is make our thing spin around in the game, right? So to do that, I'm going to go ahead and call supertick. And now we need some logic to make it spin around infinitely, and this is actually really easy to do. So what we're going to do is we're going to say if rotator rotation equals wieldable mesh, and then get the rotation of that. So get component rotation. And then we're going to say rotation.yaw plus equals 1, right? So the yaw property of the rotation gets incremented by 1. So it's going to spin very slightly. We're then going to say wieldable mesh. Set relative rotation. Rotation. Now, because this is only being moved slightly, you might think, well, hang on a sec, we're only rotating it 1 degree. Isn't that, you know, shouldn't we be rotating it more? Well, the thing is, we're calling it every tick. So it's going to be rotated very slightly every frame, so it will end up rotating a little bit faster. The last thing to do is actually code this onRadiusEnter function, which is actually very easy to do. So the first thing we're going to do inside of here is get a Minecraft character, and you might need to include that up here for that to work, so just keep that in mind. We're going to say character equals cast into a Minecraft character. Now you guys are probably pretty familiar with what we're doing right now. We're just getting a reference to the character, so we're going to say uGameplay statics, get player character. No, not camera manager character, and then we're going to say pass this and 0 in. So now we have a reference to the character. And we need to get a reference to the character so that we can put the pickaxe in the character's hands, or put the sword in the character's hands, or whatever item we've picked up, right? we're then going to say, whatever wielded item the character currently has, set the skeletal mesh for that item, and set it to the wieldable mesh's skeletal mesh. Now, for you guys might not have fp underscore wielded item. I renamed mine, so you guys should probably have like fp underscore gun or whatever, but I renamed it to fp underscore wielded item because I felt like that was a better name. So you guys might have to type in fp underscore gun. I would recommend changing it to fp underscore wielded item because that just describes it a little bit better, in my opinion. And I've also put this under public, so you'll have it up here. Go ahead and just move this down into public. So take FP wielded item and just copy and paste it so it's under public. The reason it needs to be public is so that our wieldable class can actually access it. Because remember, something has to be public to be accessed outside of the class. Lastly, we're going to destroy the pickup because we've picked it up, right? It's no longer in the world. It doesn't need to be in the world anymore. Also, we need to define inside of our character, just say uint8 tool type and uint8 material type. And then we're going to say, inside of our wieldable, we're going to say character material type equals material type. Character tool type equals tool type. It kind of seems like I'm improving this a little bit. I kind of am. I didn't really have any of this stuff planned out beforehand. But this should work, technically. So, this is the, we'll add a little comment here, the type of tool and tool material of the currently wielded item, right? Pretty simple stuff. I could have made a specialized class for tool, but I didn't, so yeah, we might do that later on. It'll clean things up a little bit, but I think that's pretty much it. I want to say we can now go ahead and implement it. So we'll go ahead and compile our code and just pray to the Lords that we don't have a crash. I swear that always happens. We have a compile failed. What have we done? Tool type cannot access private member. Oh, right. Very simple stuff here. So we could create a getter or setter function, but I cannot be bothered. I'm very lazy. So this is bad practice, by the way, guys, but I'm just going to put it in public. We'll put that there. Great stuff. Ignore that function. You guys don't need that. And go and save that, and I believe we should now be able to compile. I hope. Again, we'll pray to the gods. And once again, something's gone wrong. Equip tool is not a member. Let's see what we've done. Oh yes, take that out. You guys won't have that function and you don't need it. That was a function that I tried writing earlier. It completely failed. It did not work. Yeah, it sucked. I didn't know what I was doing. Yeah, more crashes. Alright, let's see. The next thing we need to do is to implement this function. You don't need to implement that, by the way, but just do it anyway. We don't even need begin play in there. We don't use it, but I'm just going to make it anyway. We might need begin play at some point. And we'll just call the super begin play in there. I'm literally using this strategy right now of just compiling until it shuts up. Like compile, fix error, shut up. Compile, fix error, shut up, and eventually it'll stop complaining. There we go. There we go. We fixed everything. Thank God. Let me just get that block back. Right, so awesome. We have made our wieldable at this point. So go into Assets, Blueprints, make a new folder called Wieldables. Now, these won't be here for you, obviously, so go ahead and just delete these. Now, what we need to do is right-click, make this Wieldables folder, by the way. Right-click and go Blueprint Class, and then type in Wieldable, which is the C++ class we just made, and then make this Blueprint class inherit from Wieldable. I'm going to call this Wieldable underscore pickaxe underscore diamond, right? And we'll go ahead and open that up. Now here we have the box, which is the pickup radius. Click on Wieldable Mesh, under mesh, skeletal mesh, click the pickaxe diamond. And we're now good to go. I think that's pretty much it, actually. I want to say that's all we need to do. So we'll go ahead and compile, save that, and we'll see if it works. Let's drag a wieldable into the game. As you can see, it's spinning around. We'll try pick that up. And as you can see, it works. We can pick the pickaxe up, no problems. And I made another one. I'll show you guys how to make another one. I'll put the assets to the next pickaxe in the description. To make the wooden pickaxe, you just use the exact same step we used to make the diamond pickaxe. So you guys might want to go back and see how I made the diamond pickaxe, but it's very much the same. So I'm going to make another wieldable called wieldable underscore pickaxe underscore wooden. Double click on that, go to the wieldable mesh, and then make that the wooden one. Now also, if we click on this, it has the tool type and material type. Not going to worry about setting these yet, although when it comes to actually implementing it, you would want to set these accordingly. So, for example, this diamond one would have a material type of 4, because that's diamond, and it would have a tool type of, I believe, 1, because that is the pickaxe. I'll go and compile and save that. And there we go. I could drag the wooden one in as well, just to show you guys that works. Play that, pick that up. And there you guys go. That's pick up items, basically. Now, currently, you pick it up and it's wielded. Later on, we'll make it so you pick it up and it goes into your inventory. Anyways, I'll see you guys over in the next video.